Today, I'm going to be putting Odell Beckham Jr. back in his prime, and after every season, he's going to be switching to a new team. I mean, obviously, when OBJ was in his prime, that dude was an absolute threat. I mean, there was actually no stopping him whatsoever. So, I mean, today, I thought it would be fun to put him back in his prime and see how things play out. I mean, as you can see, he's on the Baltimore Ravens to start things off, and he's a 99 overall. And I mean, no question about it, this offense that he gets to work with in year number 1 is absolutely loaded. I mean, obviously in the playoffs this year, the Ravens did fall just short to the Kansas City Chiefs, but now that OBJ is back in his prime, that might be all they need to win a Super Bowl. I mean, it looks like the Ravens had themselves one hell of a season, going 15-2 to win the division and get the number 1 seed. But surprisingly enough, it looks like the Ravens really did not use OBJ properly. I mean, he only had 525 yards for 3 touchdowns. But anyways, it looks like we have to play the 14-3 Bengals in the divisional round. And it looks like the Ravens are going to absolutely annihilate Cincy. So now we play Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs for a trip to the Super Bowl. I think it goes without saying, this is probably going to be a very difficult game to win. I mean, right out the gate, Lamar is getting smoked behind the line. I feel like this defense is probably going to be a nightmare today. I mean, obviously the Ravens could not get the job done in real life, but now that they have prime OBJ, as I said earlier, I'm hoping it will be a different story. I mean, that is one hell of a start for Beckham. Yeah, this duo is actually going to be terrifying. I don't know why the Ravens didn't use OBJ more in the regular season, but from what I've seen right now, after like the one play I've thrown to him, he is going to be an absolute nightmare for this defense to deal with today. And it looks like it's probably going to be the same story for Lamar. We just got caught on Zay Flowers. I actually have no idea what Zay was doing there, because I mean, he kind of just went ahead and tackled Lamar, but we're just going to go ahead and ignore that. Hopefully Beckham can give us, we're going to be getting smoked. Yeah, he's not open. So that's an 8-yard loss. I mean, things were looking great for us, but ever since then, this Chiefs defense has been on an absolute tear. I'm just going to put my trust in the hands of Mark Andrews. That was a dot, but he dropped it. That is definitely not how I wanted to start things off, but hopefully Tucker can make this. I mean, this guy pretty much has unlimited range, so I'm just going to take the field goal so we can get some points on the board. He missed it. He actually missed the kick too. Okay, this is a nightmare start right now. We're coming back out here in the third quarter though. I mean, on the bright side for us, it seems like we have been playing a lot better ever since that missed field goal. I mean, we do have a 7-point lead over Kansas City right now. So hopefully we can add on to this. I'm going to try and go back to Beckham, who is wide open and still going. So that is definitely a nice start to the drive. I'm going to try and hand it off to Keaton Mitchell though. I mean, this guy's small, so he's hard to tackle, and he also has some legs on him. I mean, as you can see, he is gone right now. That almost went for a touchdown. So all we need to do is get 5 yards once again, and we're in for another touchdown. I'm gonna try and go back for OBJ off of this play. That honestly might not work. Hold on. Last second. Get there. Please. What a grab. That was a terrible throw from Lamar, but somehow OBJ still managed to get there. I mean, that was a well-deserved touchdown, so that's going to put the Ravens up by 2 scores. We're back out here with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, though. I mean, as you can see, Patrick Mahomes is not going down without a fight. We're all tied up once again, but if we manage to clock right here, I mean, we definitely have a chance to walk it off. So hopefully we can do that. There's no way we just escaped that. That's going to be a crazy first down from Lamar. I don't know. We lost the ball. We just lost the ball. He fumbled it. That honestly might put things away. I mean, thankfully, our defense kind of clutched up for us. They held him to a field goal. So, I mean, all we need to do is get in a field goal position, and we should be able to send this game to overtime. I actually can't believe that Lamar fumbled the ball, though. I also just realized that we're out of timeouts. I mean, we're going to have to be really careful with the clock here. I'm going to try and go for a shot with Zay, and hopefully this doesn't backfire. I mean, it is third down, so if this doesn't work, we're gonna have to try and get a 4th down conversion. That was an absolute brick. So, I mean, just like that, the game is now on the line. I mean, I honestly can't believe that KC has came back here. That Lamar fumble really screwed us, but I'm gonna put all of my trust in the hands of OBJ, and hopefully he can keep this game alive. And it looks like he's gonna get there. We gotta spike the ball, though. I mean, we gotta hurry it up here. I'm not gonna lie, man. Things are not looking too good for us. We got 2 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna try and tie things up with Tucker, and hopefully he can send it to overtime. But this is a very long field goal. I think I've already messed this up. Come on, please be good. Please be good. It's short. Okay. That is a very disappointing end. Once again, the Ravens are going down to Kansas City. I mean, things were looking so promising for Baltimore too, up until the point where Lamar fumbled the ball. But anyways, to end off the first season, it looks like Patrick Mahomes ended up winning MVP. And it looks like the 49ers are finally going to get their revenge against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But anyways, that's going to bring us to year number 2. And this year, it looks like Beckham signed with the Green Bay Packers. And I mean, you guys can see by the looks of it, this offense is actually pretty solid. I mean, with that being said, I don't want to say this team is better than the Ravens team that he was on last year, but with prime OBJ, the Packers have a really solid chance this season. And I mean, it looks like the Packers did end up having a pretty solid season, going 13-4 to win the division. And we got to play the Eagles in the wild card round. And I mean, it looks like OBJ finally landed on a team that's actually going to use him properly. I mean, the guy had 1,300 yards for 10 touchdowns. Philly is obviously going to be a pretty tough team to beat, though. I mean, they're still absolutely loaded right now. But with that being said, at this point, I feel like the Packers do have the upper hand. I mean, our team is absolutely loaded right now. Our defense is probably the best it's been in years. And now that we have OBJ as a weapon for Jordan Love, prime OBJ, with that being said, I mean, what more can you ask for, dude? These guys have already proved this season that they are a crazy duo. I mean, you saw the yardage that OBJ had. That's going to be dangerous. We're losing yardage. Actually, never mind. We still got a yard off of that play. It honestly looked like we went backwards there. But anyways, I'm just going to keep it on the ground after that. And it looks like we're going to get some space with Aaron Jones. I'm going to try and go for a shot right here. I mean, if Romeo Doubs can get open, that is probably a house call. But if he's locked up... yeah, I'm keeping this on the ground. Him and OBJ, that was just not looking safe. Eagles forced a 3rd down after that too. So, I mean, we really need Beckham to get open here. I'm just praying that Slay is not on his ass. I mean, if he is, we're going to have a problem. Somehow, Jordan Love is still up right now. If this works out for a touch, yeah, we got greedy. We got greedy. That's all there is to it. I thought we might be able to find Beckham, but apparently not. We're coming back out here in the 4th quarter, though. I mean, as you've probably noticed, we are down by 7 points right now. So, I mean, this is a very important drive for us here. What a grab. I thought that got knocked away. Anyways, I mean, obviously, we don't really have a whole lot of time to waste here. That's going to be a huge play. So that brings it almost to midfield. But anyways, I mean, obviously, our season is on the line right now. So if we don't score here, that pretty much puts an end to everything. I'm going to try... No way. That actually might work out. Come on, Beckham, get that. That is going to be a huge play. We're down at the 1. I mean, man, that was a huge play. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm hyped about that. But we are going to have way too much time on the clock for the Eagles to work with. But, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and punch this in and pray that our defense can clutch up for us. I mean, if the defense clutches up, it's going to overtime. If not, we're going to be taking another very disappointing loss. But as you guys can see, I mean, it looks like it's best case scenario for the Packers right now. Somehow, our defense forced a fumble. So we have 56 seconds to try and put things away. I mean, all we need to do is kick a field goal. I'm just going to try and get into the best position that I can. Obviously, if we have a chance to score a touchdown, though, I am going to be going for that. We got to keep this on the ground again. Come on, don't fumble. I am going to do something that's very dangerous that I probably shouldn't do, but I'm gonna try and go for a shot here and see. I mean, oh yeah, he's gonna be wide open. Let's go, Reed. Okay, that is not going for a touchdown, but we're gonna be down at the 12-yard line. So thanks to the huge play, all we need to do is make this 29-yard field goal, and that's gonna send the Packers to the next round. I mean, I feel like that should be good, and it looks like we're gonna slice that through. So that was a really close game. I mean, the Eagles put up one hell of a fight, but either way, the Packers are gonna pull off the comeback, and that's gonna send them to the next first round, but it looks like things are not going to be getting any easier. If anything, it just got harder because now we have to play the 49ers. I'm really hoping for a different outcome here than every other year, but I mean, at this point, the 49ers kind of own the Packers in the playoffs, so I'm kind of expecting to lose this game. I mean, if you haven't already noticed, we are down 7-0. And another thing, obviously the offense is stacked, but the 49ers, yeah, we're going down. There's Bosa, so it looks like this defense is already being an issue. I was gonna say they have a 92 overall defense right now, which is obviously terrifying. Beckham's gonna be wide open, though. I mean, that honestly might go for a touchdown unless we get caught, but he's gonna win the foot race. I think that is by far the biggest play that he has made all day. So that is going to tie things up. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that to work out for a touchdown, but OBJ is going to need to go off if we want to win this game. We're coming back out here in the third quarter, though. I mean, as you can see, things actually aren't looking too bad for us right now. We're only down by 3 points, so hopefully we can at least tie things up with this drive here. I don't want to do too much passing, though, because, I mean, it is raining, so, I mean, a lot of our receivers have been dropping passes today. Other than OBJ. OBJ has actually been perfect, but it looks like Aaron Jones is going to be gone for a huge pickup. Considering the 49ers do have a 92 overall defense, though, I mean, I feel like we are putting up one hell of a fight. I am just running safe plays, though, with that being said, that I know is like low risk of messing up. As you can see, that's another huge pickup from Beckham. I mean, I want to pass it to OBJ again, but I feel like if I do that, with the defense San Fran has, they'll probably get an interception. So I should probably just keep things on the ground. I'm gonna risk it, actually. Why not? I feel like we might be able to get Beckham wide open here, so I'm just gonna try this anyways. That was dangerous. I mean, obviously that brings up a third down since Warner knocked that away. I'm going to pass it again here, though, and hopefully Beckham can actually get to this. I'm just going to keep this on the ground, actually. It looks like it's going to work out either way with Jordan Love. So with the rushing touchdown, that is going to put the Packers back in the lead. Obviously, this game's not over yet, though. I mean, the Niners have a lot of time on the clock. I mean, the Packers put up one hell of a fight, as you can see. But after all of that, in the end, the 49ers are going to win once again with a game-winning touchdown from Debo last second. So once again, the Packers are going home. But anyways, to end off year number 2, it looks like Lamar ended up winning MVP this season. And for the second season in a row, it looks like the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl with the dub over the Bills. But anyways, that's going to bring us to year number 3. And it looks like this season, Beckham ended up signing with the Indianapolis Colts. And as you can see, I mean, 3 years into the future, this team is actually looking very promising. I don't know if I go as far as saying we're Super Bowl favorites or anything like that, but I mean, looking at that roster, I feel like the Colts should be able to go on a pretty solid playoff run. And it looks like the Colts actually had a pretty solid season, going 12-5. Jags won the division, though, and we got to play the Ravens in the wild card round. But it looks like our boy OBJ did end up having another pretty solid season with 1,000 yards for 5 touchdowns. But it looks like the Colts somehow managed to pull off the upset against Baltimore. So now we play the Bills in the divisional round. I don't want to say this is going to be an easy route to the Super Bowl by any means. I mean, obviously Buffalo is going to be a very tough team to play, but with that being said, if we can somehow pull off another upset in this one, all we really need to do is get past either the Jags or the Dolphins. So I mean, if Beckham's going to win a Super Bowl, considering this Colts team is actually pretty solid, I'd say now is probably the best time. So hopefully the Colts can keep going off with this playoff run. I'm gonna try and go for OBJ off of this play, though. I mean, he's gonna be wide open, so that's a pretty big pickup. Richardson has a lot of weapons to work with on this offense as well. I mean, we got Beckham at the 1 spot, we got Taylor at running back, and then we also, I gotta keep this on the ground. We're gonna lose yardage. I was kind of just waiting for a lane to open up there, but obviously that never happened. So now it's 3rd and 13. I'm just gonna try and go for our tight end, and hopefully he can be open. We're getting rushed again, though, so that's gonna hold us to a field goal. This defense is already being a problem for us right now, and honestly, with the wind, I feel like we might have just butchered that. that is barely gonna go through. So at least we got 3 points on the board. Coming back out here in the third quarter, though, I mean, as you can see, things are actually looking pretty promising for Indy right now. If we can score here, that honestly might put this game out of reach, considering we already have a huge lead over Buffalo right now. Or I wouldn't say a huge lead. I mean, right now we're only up by 2 scores, but obviously if we score here, that is gonna make it a 3-score game, which would be pretty big right now. That was kind of a brick, but we're gonna find OBJ either way. It is really throwing me off, though, seeing Beckham in a Colts uniform. I mean, it really just doesn't look right, but I'm gonna try and go for him again here. And once again, it looks like we're gonna find him for another first. I mean, so far, it seems like Prime OBJ is actually doing pretty well today. I'm gonna try and go back to him here, though. Nah, I'm just keeping this on the ground. That play's kind of dangerous. I mean, it looks like it is going to pay off with Richardson. So that's another first down. Now we only need 10 yards and we might be able to put this game to rest. I mean, I wouldn't say it would be over just yet, but again, a 3-score lead would be huge right now. I really don't want to risk a whole lot, though. So I'm just going to try and go for another run here, and hopefully we don't get stopped behind the line or anything like that. I mean, that looks pretty promising, and it looks like Taylor's going to be in for the touchdown. So that puts the Colts up by 3 scores against the Bills. So it's looking like we honestly might be pulling off another upset here. And after that, it looks like we were able to get the job done. I mean, the defense has been great all postseason, so I'm really hoping that they can just keep doing what they've been doing. That's 2 upsets in a row now. But now we have to play the #1 seed Jags for a trip to the Super Bowl. And it looks like we're also going to pull off the upset against the Jags. So now we play the Falcons in the Super Bowl. And in case you were wondering, to end off year number 3, it looks like Dak ended up winning MVP. I mean, we're coming out here with like 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Our defense did force a fumble, so we have pretty solid field position here. And it looks like Jonathan Taylor is gone. You got to remember, though, we are 3 years into the future now, so the Falcons are actually a really solid team. They ended up getting the 2 seed, but with that being said, I mean, I feel like we honestly have the upper hand just because of how well this team has been playing in the playoffs. I mean, we've pulled off a lot of upsets. We took down the Ravens, we took down the Bills, and we also took down the Jags, and we were not meant to beat any of those teams. And to make it even more impressive, the Colts have not had a single home game all postseason. I mean, we've been on the road the whole time. This might actually work out. Come on, Beckham, get there. What a grab. That's going to be a touchdown. So just like that, the Colts are going to take an early lead over the Falcons. I mean, that was an absolute dot from Richardson too. I mean, if we can play like this, we have a pretty solid chance of getting the job done. I mean, we're coming back out here in the third quarter now. We are up 21-17 right now. So once again, things are looking pretty good for the Colts right now. That's going to be a huge play too. Let's go, Pittman. I mean, if we can score here, obviously that's not going to put the game away just yet, but that will make it a 2-score game, which obviously should help us out quite a bit. I'm kind of surprised how dominant the Colts have been, though. After seeing the roster for this team at the start of the season, obviously I knew we were going to be good, but I really did not think that we had any chance of making it all the way to the Super Bowl, and it looks like we actually have a solid chance at winning the whole thing. That does bring up a third down, though, so I mean, hopefully OBJ can get open here. As long as we don't get sacked, I am going to go for it on 4th down if this doesn't work out, but it looks like we're going to find Beckham. So just like that, I mean, 5 yards to go and we're in. I'm just going to try and punch it in with Jonathan Taylor, and hopefully we can get a block. That's nice, but that's going to be another touchdown. So, I mean, that's going to put us up by 2 scores. The O-line has played a big part today, too. The O-line has been absolutely insane. And after that, it looks like we were able to close things out. I mean, the Falcons made it pretty close, but either way, against all the odds, somehow the Colts are going to be your Super Bowl champions this season. I mean, as I said, we were on the road the whole time. Even the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, so this was obviously well-deserved. But as you can see in year 3, Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts are going to be hoisting a well-deserved Lombardi trophy. But anyways, that's going to bring us to year number 4, which is going to be the final season of this video. And to end things off, it looks like Beckham ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers. And I mean, as you guys can see, this team actually isn't looking too bad right now. I mean, it seems like the Panthers did actually end up doing a pretty solid job of rebuilding. I wouldn't say we're anywhere near being Super Bowl favorites or anything like that, but we should be able to sneak into the playoffs. And it looks like the Panthers had a surprisingly good season, going 10-7 to barely win the division, and we're going to be playing the Eagles in the wild card round. I mean, it looks like OBJ did kind of dip down this season, but I mean, he did still have a pretty solid year with 939 yards for 11 touchdowns. Eagles did score first, so we are down 7-0. I'm gonna see if we can open up this drive with Beckham. Oh, we're getting sacked. Okay, that's a bad start. I mean, our O-line's gonna have to do a lot better than that if we actually want to win this game. We got stopped again too, so now it's 3rd and 14. I'm really hoping that Mingo can get to this. He's gonna be wide open, so that is gonna be another first down. I just gotta be careful here though, because I mean, as I was saying, even though the Eagles only have a 9-8 record, which I'm not too sure how that happened, but somehow it did, their defense is still absolutely loaded, as you can see. And I feel like the offense is also going to be a pretty big issue for us today. I mean, they do have a 91 overall offense right now. Come on, Beckham, get there. That is gonna almost be a first. 2 yards to go. I mean, I'm just gonna hand it off to Mitchell here. I feel like he is probably our best option of getting a first down. We're gonna get stopped behind the line though, so I mean, we're getting held to a field goal by the looks of it. I'm also not too sure how good the Panthers kicker is, but hopefully he's not too bad. Oh, we need to make that. Come on. That's looking iffy. He missed. Oh, it bounced in. It honestly looked like that bounced out, but I mean, yeah, that's in. Okay, so we do have 3 points on the board. Coming back out here in the 4th quarter, though, I mean, as you can see, we are down by 3 points. It's actually been a pretty close game, which I really wasn't expecting. I mean, to be... Oh, no way, Beckham dropped that. As I was going to say, I was honestly expecting to get creamed by the Eagles, but I mean, so far, it seems like Carolina is actually putting up a pretty solid fight right now. We got to get that off, but we're going to find Beckham, so that makes up for the drop. I'm going to try and go for a shot with Beckham here, though. I mean, I feel like this play is kind of dangerous, but if he's locked up, we should be able to go for the tight end here. It looks like Beckham's going to have some open field, though. We're going to get caught, but either way, that does bring the ball to the 15. So, I mean, 15 yards to go, and we're in for the touchdown. I'm going to try. Oh, yeah, we're getting sacked. Okay, I couldn't get that off in time, as I expected. I mean, the defense is being a huge problem today, but hopefully Shakir can make up for that sack. I mean, it looks like he's actually going to be wide open, and that's going to push us in for a touchdown. So, I mean, that is surprisingly enough going to give the Panthers the lead. But after that, unfortunately, it looks like the Eagles did come back and take us down. To be fair, though, I mean, the Panthers did do a lot better this season than I thought they would. But anyways, to end off the final season, once again, somehow Dak won another MVP, and it looks like the Cowboys went on to absolutely annihilate the Texans in the Super Bowl. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel, and if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. And while you're down there, comment the most random thing you can think of so we can confuse everybody in the comment section. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.